Alright, happy Halloween, everyone. This is my Halloween 1978 movie review. This should upload almost around around midnight when it's about to turn November the 1st, but oh well. So, obviously the movie is a classic. I don't want to take anything away from it and from what it means, what the movie means to the horror genre, the slasher genre, and its place in movie history as kind of starting that trend of, slasher icons, starting with Michael, then you got Jason, Freddy, etc. But Michael is the OG. Halloween is the OG movie. Obviously, there were other slasher movies before this one, so it's not like the first slasher movie, but it's like the one where like you really got like an icon in the villain, and obviously jumped off with the fucking franchise and shit. So obviously has its place in movie history. It is a classic. Watched it multiple times and shit. So I was like, starting off, the thing that really jumps off at me, you have like the slower pacing of the movie. Because the movie is an hour and a half long, and Michael doesn't kill Annie Bracken until like 54, 56 minutes into the movie. So you don't even really get like the real action until like the last third of the movie. And the first 2/3 of the movie is just build up, suspense, Michael stalking Lori, stalking, their street on New Year's, Halloween night. He watches Annie bring Lindsay over to the dollhouse. And then he's like stalking, he's stalking Annie over at the Wallace's house before he eventually kills her in the car. Then, Linda, I want to say Linda, and Bob show up. He stalks them, he watches them have sex and all that before he nails Bob to the wall. Or was it a door? And then he chokes out Linda with the ghost shit on. So a lot of the movie is build up and suspense, and does a really good job at that. Like that time frame flies by because you are like I enjoyed watching the three girls, the three babies. Well, I guess Linda isn't a babysitter, but watching the three friends kind of just go about their day, they were an entertaining group to watch. Obviously shout out to Dr. Loomis, played by Donald Pleasance. You just wish he could have been in this new trilogy, but obviously his time came in the 90s, right after they made Curse of Michael Myers Part 6. But you get his performance from just being like this crazed psychiatrist of Michael's, and like especially when after seeing Ends and then watching this one, is like you see the real parallel between the slow build and the fact that Michael's actually in Ends for a minute longer than he's in this movie. Apparently someone calculated and said that Michael's only in this movie for like 9 minutes and 50 seconds, and then he's in Ends for 10 minutes and 50 seconds. And it just goes to show that at the end of the day, what the movie is about, Michael being this force. The movie's an hour and a half long, but he's not even in the movie for 10 minutes because he doesn't need to be in the movie for longer than he is, because he is just a force being enacted onto these characters. And so you're watching their progression through the day, through the night, mainly Lori's, as she goes from, the cookie cutter good girl So by the end of the movie, she has like to fight this this mass serial killer, and she gets broken. And you watch that progression of her through the movie, and it's really smartly and expertly done. And really, the time flies by fast. Just an hour and a half. It was obviously short for a movie. Cause a lot of times they go more toward the 2 hour mark. So hour 30 really is a short movie anyway. That was like my next point. You get the crazy open with Michael, the classic POV shot. Michael was a little boy, 6 years old, going to get the knife, picking up the clown mask, and going to kill his sister. And then for the next almost hour, you just slow build, and it's really just that simple. And it's just like sometimes with a movie you don't need like some big flashy shit in the movie. You can do simple and it just works because it's simple and it's hard to mess up. Simple sometimes. You just go with it and tell a good story simply. Where the movie shines is in the suspense. It is like it's horror, but it isn't even really scary. Like when I was a kid, I was scared of Michael Myers, but the main emotion, like it evokes the suspense. It's a really suspenseful movie because you're just watching. You spend a lot of time watching Michael stalk these people and just stalk through the town and drive around in his little station wagon. And John Carpenter does a really good job at setting the mood with his shots and like making you like get into that Halloween creeped out mood. The lighting, that blue lighting that some of the scenes had. And it just felt like Halloween, felt like fall time with even during the day shots, you just see the leaves and you just see it's the sun is not too sunny, so it has that kind of cloudy, windy fall feel. Even though apparently I don't know, they filmed this in like California or something, and like those leaves weren't even real. I think they were like fake leaves, or they had to like bring them in from somewhere else because either it wasn't fall when they filmed the movie, or it was, but it's California and California doesn't have seasons. So they had to like fake a lot of that fall atmosphere shit. But it was to show how much thought they put into it because they really nailed it. So shout out to them for that. And finally, the only potential bad people thing I can say about this movie is that obviously it lacks blood and gore. It doesn't have blood and gore like Halloween Kills or Ends or like pretty much any other movie in the series. It's a very, like I said, it's really simple, and they don't he kills people, like he strangles Annie and Linda. When he kills Bob, even though he stabs him, it's like in the dark, so you don't really see any blood. When he stabs his sister, you kind of see the blood on her titties, I guess. And after he kills you don't see him kill the mechanic he steals the overalls from, but you just see him laying in a field, bloody. So like, there's not a lot of blood in this movie, and which was on purpose. And like, it doesn't bother me when I'm watching it. I will say, like, one thing I think about, like, does the movie still hold up, especially now with more gory shit? It depends on your taste. If you can be cool with if you can like trade in the blood and gore for more atmospheric, suspense, tension building, and shit like that, and like not have as much blood, then obviously the movie works for you. But if you feel like you need, Halloween Kills level of like blood and gore, as like Rob Zombie Halloween levels of like blood and gore, then the movie might not work for you. Which is why, to a certain extent, I do almost kind of that's what I really like about the sequels that they do, because I like blood and gore shit. So, but I mean, with this movie, it does its job, and it's still a good watch. Maybe even for nostalgia reasons, but it still holds up to me. And I kind of started souring on it for that reason, the lack of blood and gore. But then, like, watching it back, like, the last couple times, I'm like, it's a real chill movie. Real simple chill. It doesn't have a lot of blood and gore, but it doesn't need it. It doesn't need it. So, yeah, that's my take on Halloween 1978. A classic. Always cool to rewatch. A simple, well-made movie. Well-made, low-budget movie. I think it would count as like an indie film, too. This is 1978, so it was a low-budget indie film that spawned, a major franchise. The latest, the David Gordon Green trilogy is, raked in under hundreds of millions of dollars. So, shout out to them for that. And that's it for this review. Subscribe for more reviews. I'm gonna do I'm gonna run through the whole series. And then obviously I'll just start on other horror series. But yeah, so I guess next there'll be Halloween 2, and I guess I'll try to get that out by the end of the week. I want to do at least two or three of these a week. It's taking like an entire month to get through. There's 13 of them. So I will do a re-review of Halloween Kills, which I reviewed last year when it came out, and like a re-review of Halloween Ends after rewatch, because I've already seen that twice, but I'm going to watch it a third time after I run through the entire series. As I go through and rewatch all of them and do reviews, and then after all of them have been watched and reviewed, I will do a ranking video, how I would rank all 13 Halloween movies, including Season of the Witch, number 3, and Halloween Ends, which just came out. So, subscribe for that. Let me know what your opinion of Halloween 1978 is. Does it still hold up today? Is it not enough blood and gore for you? Or does the movie work the way it is? It's fine the way it is. Let me know in the comments. And just subscribe for more. Check out the description for the other shit, my short stories, my proofreading and editing services, my social medias, my CashApp, other shit. And I will see you in the next video. Happy Halloween. Peace out.